breaking news this morning. The Buccaneers have reportedly fired offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich. Cleaning some house, they're also expected to release as many as 5 offensive assistants and 2 defensive assistants. Shannon, what's your reaction to this news?
I told you this. I told y'all this on Tuesday. This was coming. Byron Leftwich was going to lose his...
It was reported they were coming, yeah.
That he was going to lose his job because Tom Brady played bad this year. And so instead of saying Tom Brady played bad this year, he did not play like the Tom Brady that we expected him to, or the Tom Brady that we had known and love, Byron Leftwich. So the same guy that led you to 3 division titles, the same guy that called every single play when you won the Super Bowl, the same guy that you were basically a hold away from maybe winning the divisional round and getting back to the championship game. You got a blown coverage, and who knows what happened if this game goes to overtime. That same Byron Leftwich, now he lost his job. Because why? It's always, if Tom Brady does not succeed, it's always got to be somebody else's fault. It's never his fault. Now, they're talking about, well, Shannon, we couldn't run the ball. In 2019, the Buccaneers was 26th in rush. In 2018, they were 27th in rush. So when in the hell did they ever have a top 10 rush offense? Not even before Tom Brady, not doing Tom Brady. And when you throw the ball...
I mean, when they went on their Super Bowl run, they ran it well. Remember playoff Lenny?
Yeah, now he lay off Lenny.
Well, he was.
But okay, but here's the thing, though, Skip. Tell me the team that has a top 10 rushing attack when a guy throws the ball over 700 times. So they weren't... Because remember the year before he got there, Jameis threw for 5,000 yards. Had 5,000 turnovers also. That's why he's where he is, and Tom Brady ended up going to Tampa. But instead of saying, you know what, Tom had an off year. Tom didn't play bad. Tom didn't play well. Let's put all of this on Byron Leftwich. Now remember, Byron Leftwich was so good, Tom Brady got Bruce Arians out of the head coaching job and bumped upstairs because he got tired of the hard work that he and Byron was doing, and B.A. was coming in there late to the show, and with a little red marker, he was crossing this out and Xing that out. That's the same guy. That's the same guy right there. Byron Leftwich sitting next to him. I feel bad for B. I feel bad for B. Let me tell you why, Skip. He had an opportunity to take the job at Jacksonville.
He did.
And because they wanted to put their own general manager in there and not let him bring his own, he turned it down and went back.
He withdrew his name. Yep.
Now, the likelihood of this man becoming a head coach is not very good. It's slim to none. And Slim ain't on no diet, so he gaining weight, so it ain't going to happen.
Yep.
Man, this is some bull jive. And they know it's some bull jive. Tom, I don't care. They can fire 10 offensive guys. Tom Brady didn't play well. Tom Brady's responsible for that man losing his job.
I disagree with that, but I do not understand why this man lost his job unless they just decided as a group they had to do something. Somebody had to pay for 8 and 10, which was the final record. I don't think Tom Brady is going back there, so I don't think this was Tom Brady's doing to fire him.
No, Tom Brady doing with the way he played.
Okay. I don't blame Byron Leftwich at all. I don't blame Tom Brady very much at all because the offensive line was just a shambles compared to what it was a year ago and certainly 2 years ago. They couldn't run the football. Their receiving core was graded 19th best in the league. What do you think's going to happen? You can't play action. There's not much the coordinator can do because I don't think there's a whole lot that the quarterback could do. And I still believe if you'd put Patrick Mahomes in Tampa Bay this year, he would have had a long year. And no coordinator could have saved it. So I don't understand what was happening here. Unless there's something internally where he got sideways with somebody, there had to be some more to this story because you can't blame him 1 inch for what happened this year.
They felt that he changed a little bit because when Todd got the job, he didn't even get an opportunity to interview for it.
Okay.
And he says, at least give me an opportunity to interview for the job because remember, Skip, he's been the offensive coordinator since 2019. In 3 of the 4 years, they finished top 3 in points scored.
Yep.
And so this was the first year that they finished outside of the top 3 in points scored. They finished outside of the top in a lot of statistical categories because everything was down. They were normally second or first in a lot of categories, and they went to 25th and 22nd in red zone touchdowns, 21st in third down conversion when they were second, 25th in point differential when they were 4th in 2021. And they were 6th in turnover margin. They went to 20th in turnover, 6th in 21, and then 20th in 22.
Okay.
So a lot of things offensively changed.
Yeah. All right, here's where I would blame Tom Brady. if it's true that he wanted Bruce Arians kicked upstairs before he came back out of retirement to Tampa, if that's true, then I think people at the top thought that was the wrong move. Because I know for a fact some people at the top believe they missed Bruce Arians' input into the offense. So whatever he redlined on Friday, they thought was good. That they missed his touch on offense because he's no risk it, no biscuit, and had a flair for it, whatever.
And B.A. held people accountable. Whether Tom Brady, whether Debbie, it didn't matter. B.A. gonna hold you accountable now.
All right, so is it possible they're just greasing the skids for B.A. to come back down out of his upstairs office and actually
and be the head coach?
No, be the coordinator. I don't know.
Hell no. Skip, why would I do that? Why would I let you relieve me of my duty of being the head coach of a football team to come back and be the OC?
I don't know. Because he did it his whole life and he was good at it?
No, Skip. There have been very few times, a lot of times, guys that once they become a multiple-time head coach, it's hard for them to go back to being coordinator.
Okay.
Because you've been the boss, and then all of a sudden, you have a boss.
And this rumor persists that Sean Payton would be interested in Tampa. And I don't get it because I don't think Tom Brady is interested in Tampa. So you're going to go for what?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's your quarterback?
And you hear the reports that Coach Sean is looking at $20 to $25 million a year. Yeah. They but a handful of teams can pay that. One of them in the Midwest in the Rockies. Because that owner's worth $65 billion. Yeah, he can pay $20, $25 million.
I think these gentlemen can pay whatever they want.
I don't do you
remember once upon a time they went and got John Gruden? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And they paid a ransom.
That was $8 million and 2 first-round draft picks. Now you still gonna have to give up compensation. The Saints like, hey, we got a valuable commodity. We know how valuable he is. It's gonna probably cost you a first rounder.
It would.
Maybe mid, late second first rounder.
Yep.
And then you got to pay him. Skip, you got to pay him $20, $25 million.
You do. I got it. Well, there was that rumor last year, the speculation that Sean and Tom were going to be some kind of a package deal to Miami.
Yes.
But at that point, I could see where Sean would say, Miami's a good football team. It's got a foundation.
Yes.
So if Tom will go with me for 2 years, it would be a great start. But now, I don't know how much longer Tom wants to play, if at all.
Right.
Is it just 1 more year? So Sean can't risk, well, I'd go to Tampa and try to start over with a quarterback who's going to be there for 1 year, and that's going to leave me where?
Them same plays that Tom Brady won the Super Bowl with, Tom Brady was voted by his peers the #1 guy. Those same plays, all of a sudden, they don't work anymore. Now, all of a sudden, Byron Leftwich can't call a play. Yep. All of a sudden, this man done forgot all the football that he's acquired, the knowledge that he's acquired through a player and a coach. All of a sudden, ain't nobody, it seems to me I'm on an island by myself, that says Tom Brady hasn't played well this year. Instead of acknowledging that Tom didn't play well, let's fire the offensive staff. Let's fire Byron Leftwich. Come on, people. Y'all know damn well Tom Brady didn't play well this year. Acknowledge that. It's okay. I'm saying that he didn't play well. He's still a 7-time champion. He's still the greatest quarterback to ever play. All of that is true. 2 things can be true. You can be great at this and not be good at that. Yep. And that's what happened this year. He did not have a good season. He did not play well.
All I can tell you is I know this for a dead solid fact that the people upstairs at Tampa Bay do not think Tom was the problem this year. The quote that was given to me was, we still believe he's as good as 99% of the quarterbacks out there. So that's their mentality, and that's all that matters right here.
Can I ask you a question, Skip? If he wasn't the problem, what's the question you're answering? You're asking. What's the question? Because was he the solution? If he's not the problem, if you're not the problem, my grandfather said, boy, if you ain't the problem, are you the solution? So what's going on? He wasn't the problem. Was he the solution?
Well, he was against Carolina.
Skip, you see, again, that's 17 games. Okay, what about the other 16? The other 16 games they played.
I know what their attitude is, that there's no way they would have won the South without Tom Brady.
Skip, you're in a bad. Skip, think about the quarterbacks he's up against. He's up against Andy Dalton.
I got it.
Trevor Siemian. Taysom Hill.
Yep.
He's against Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, P.J. Walker.
Yep.
He's up against Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ritter. That's what he's up against. And you talk about there's no way we would have won this division without bruh. And look what happened to you.
But they were a bad football team.
Yes.
They fell completely apart.
Yes.
They weren't a fourth of what they were 2 years ago when they won the Super Bowl.
So they weren't.
No.
So was Tom? Okay. Was Tom a fourth of what he was?
Remember, he came into the year, as you pointed out, voted by his peers as the single best player in all of pro football. Single best player, not quarterback, player.
Let that sink in for a second. Woo. The best player in the NFL voted by his peers put that season on tape.
Yep. Okay, I'm not blaming Byron at all. I'm just saying I don't know what it is. Something's going on here. There's something between the lines here that I'm not seeing because it makes no sense. Even if we do the Sean Payton scenario, if you were going to hire Sean Payton and you said we got to clear the deck, so we just got to get Byron out of here, you'd wait until you hired Sean Payton, and then it would just be natural because he's bringing his own staff in.
With that being said, Skip, clearly Todd Bowles is going to come back as the head coach. Because if that's the case, why the hell you fired an offensive coordinator if you think you're going to get Sean Payton? Because Sean Payton ain't going to be no coordinator.
No. I mean, he's going to call the play.
Yeah, I'm saying, right. But he's going to be the head coach.
Yes.
Somebody will have the title as OC under Sean. You're absolutely right. Sean is going to call the plays.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, Skip. Given what you just said, the season that he had the previous year in 2021, and considering that his peers voted him the number one player, you have to put a lion's share of the blame at his feet.
Okay. All I know is this was extremely unfair to Byron Leftwich. That's where we agree.
Yes.
It's extreme. It's wrong because he was not wrong here. He was not the reason that this crumbled.
Right.
So the point is, I don't get it, and I feel for Byron because he went from this close to being the Jacksonville head coach to
this close to this. He went from this close to being the head coach to this far to ever being a head coach.
Being any head coach, I would agree because this does not look or feel good.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. And that's why, Skip. That's why. And see, remember I said, and we've been talking. You and I, we've been talking about this for 6 years. This is why African American coaches can't turn down jobs.
Can't.
You can't do what Doug Marrone. You can't do what Josh McDaniel did and think because, boom, you get fired. Josh McDaniels got fired from the Broncos, and then he went to the Rams and got fired from there. And guess what? He right back. Remember, Skip, during the season, he came at the end of the season and was on the playoff staff with the Patriots.
I agree because the point of the Jacksonville Jaguars job a year ago is that quarterback is there.
Yes.
And you should look and say, I got to do this.
Yeah.
I got to do it because I know I can go places with him.
Yes, because that's what, and Sean says he's looking at the front office. I read what he said. He was talking to Colin. He said, I'm looking at the front office and a quarterback. But the front office is the most important. Okay. Well, that might be the case. But you can have a great front office.
That's why Byron walked away from this.
Yeah. You can have the best front office. I tell you what, Sean, you had a great situation. What do you think would have happened if you didn't have Drew Brees?
Good question.
You can do all that front office you want to.
I agree.
That guy, he controls it. He's Geppetto. And everything else is puppets. Yep.
See what happens if you have Andy Dalton and Trevor Siemian.
You see what happened in New England?
Yep.
All of a sudden, they ain't favored to win the East. They was who win the AFC? The Patriots. The favorite to win the AFC, Patriots.
Yep.
Now they 25,000 to 1. No. Where they was minus. You had to put up money. Big money to try to win some money.
Yep. Agreed.
I feel bad for you, B. I'm sorry, bro.
Bad.
Oof. It is certainly a tough break. Byron Leftwich spent 4 years with the Tampa Bay Bucs. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.